Some people post every moment of their lives online. Every trip, every meal, every smile becomes content. But then there are people who almost never upload their photos. No selfies, no fancy pictures, no constant updates, and somehow these people often seem more mysterious. So what does psychology say about people who don't post their photos on social media? The answer is more complex than most people think, because in today's world, social media is deeply connected to validation. Every like, comment, and reaction gives the brain a small dopamine reward. That's why posting can become addictive without people realizing it. But people who avoid posting photos often think differently. Many of them don't rely heavily on external approval. Instead of needing attention from strangers online, they feel comfortable with private confidence. Their mindset quietly says, "I know who I am. I don't need to prove it." Psychologists call this internal validation. It means a person's self-worth comes more from within than from public opinion. And honestly, that's rare today, because social media has slowly turned life into a performance. People don't just enjoy moments anymore, they display them. But some individuals choose not to participate in that cycle, not because they hate social media, but because they value privacy more than attention. Highly self-aware people often become protective of their personal life. They understand that the more people know about you, the more access they have to your energy and peace. That's why some people intentionally stay private online. And psychologically, this can be a sign of emotional maturity. Because mature people understand boundaries. They know not everyone deserves access to their life. But there's another side to this psychology too. Sometimes people avoid posting photos because of insecurity. They may struggle with low self-esteem, social anxiety, or fear of judgment. Before posting anything, their mind starts overthinking. What if people don't like it? What if I look unattractive? What if nobody reacts? And eventually they decide not to post at all. This is what makes human psychology interesting. Two people can have the same behavior for completely different reasons. One person stays private because they are confident. Another stays invisible because they are afraid. From the outside, both profiles look the same. But internally, their mindset is completely different. There's also a type of person psychologists often describe as an observer. These people enjoy watching more than sharing. They scroll through everything, notice small details, understand people deeply, but reveal almost nothing about themselves. Observers are usually more analytical. They think before speaking and watch before trusting. For them, posting photos can feel uncomfortable because it creates exposure. And exposure feels risky to certain personalities, especially people who have been hurt, judged, or betrayed in the past. After painful experiences, many individuals become emotionally guarded online. Their silence becomes a form of self-protection. Instead of showing their life publicly, they choose privacy to avoid negativity, criticism, or comparison. And honestly, social media today often feels more like competition than connection. People compare looks, lifestyles, relationships, and success constantly. That's why many emotionally exhausted people slowly stop posting, not because they disappeared, but because they got tired of performing happiness online. Over time, many people begin realizing something important. The happiest moments of life are usually the moments nobody sees online. And that realization changes their behavior completely. Instead of reaching for the phone to capture everything, they start living more in the present. Psychologically, this shift often happens when a person becomes mentally tired of seeking approval, because the truth is, constantly posting can quietly create pressure. Pressure to look attractive, pressure to appear successful, pressure to seem happy even during difficult times. And eventually, some people disconnect from that system completely. They stop asking, "How will this look online?" and start asking, "Am I actually enjoying this moment?" That's a huge psychological transformation. People who rarely post photos are also sometimes more focused on real-life relationships than digital attention. They prefer deeper conversations over online popularity. For them, privacy creates peace. And interestingly, studies have shown that people who spend less time presenting themselves online often experience lower levels of comparison anxiety. Because they are not constantly measuring their life against others. Think about it. The more you post, the more reactions begin affecting your emotions. A good response makes you feel accepted. A weak response can silently affect your confidence. Even when people pretend they don't care, the brain still notices. That's why some emotionally intelligent individuals intentionally reduce their online presence. They protect their mental space. Now, of course, not posting photos does not automatically make someone wiser or better than others. Some people simply don't enjoy taking pictures. Some are naturally introverted. Others are busy living their lives offline. And some people just believe that personal memories feel more special when they remain private. But one thing is certain. In a world where almost everyone is trying to be seen, people who stay private naturally appear different. Mystery attracts attention. Human psychology is curious by nature. When someone reveals less about themselves, others often become more interested in them. That's why quiet people sometimes appear more powerful socially, not because they are trying to impress anyone, but because unpredictability creates intrigue. You never fully know what they're thinking. You never fully know what's happening in their life. And the human brain keeps trying to fill those missing gaps. At the same time, staying too disconnected online can also create emotional distance. Social media today is part of how many people maintain friendships and communication. So complete silence can sometimes make a person seem emotionally unavailable or detached even when they aren't. Balance is important because psychology is rarely black and white. A person who never posts photos could be deeply confident, deeply insecure, emotionally healed, emotionally guarded, or simply uninterested in attention. The behavior alone doesn't tell the full story. The reason behind the behavior matters most. And maybe that's the biggest lesson here. Not everyone is trying to be noticed. Some people are focused on protecting their peace. Some are healing quietly. Some are building their life in silence. And some people simply understand that not every beautiful moment needs an audience. Because real confidence is often silent. It doesn't beg for attention, it doesn't chase validation, and it doesn't need constant proof. In the end, social media only shows what people choose to display. But psychology exists beneath the surface. And sometimes, the people who post the least are the ones thinking the deepest.